Hello, parents. Hello, parents. This is Coach John from Learning Out of the Box, and thank you so much for being here. Okay, today I want to talk about the topic on how do you connect with your child at the emotion level. As in, when we say connect, we really mean that you really tune in to their feelings and being very aware how they are feeling every day. Yeah, the reason why I say that is because, as you know, besides having my own primary 6 class, I also coach my own children, and my eldest is primary 6 this year. And at times, I can feel that as much as I feel that she has prepared well for her exams, I can feel her anxiety as well as her nervousness as well. And interestingly, a few of my parents with their children in my physics class texted me and tell me that, Coach John, my children are feeling very anxious, and when they can't do certain tough questions, they started to throw tantrum. One of them even said that she wanted to give up, and the other guy just stop doing anything and just refuse to continue. Yeah. So I'm just wondering whether have you ever felt that way, that sometimes as much as you really wanted to help your kid, but you can only do so much on the content level, meaning that you just get your child to do questions after questions, and then at the same time you can also sense a lot of struggles as well as anxiety, and as a parent you can definitely understand your kid, and you can just sense that something is wrong, and somehow a normal revision time can turn into a fight with tears and shoutings, as well as maybe even even throwing tantrums. Yeah. Why do I say that? Is because I myself have experienced that. I'm a father of 3 girls, and as you know, different children have different capabilities and different behaviors, as well as they react differently to difficult questions, or also known as challenges and obstacles in life. Yeah. So the purpose of this Facebook Live is really to do a shout out to parents who are actually supporting your kids at home, and to be mindful of your child's emotions. Yeah, meaning that how often do you check in with your kids and really to understand what they are going through? And when they say tough, actually it means a lot to them. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, for example, let's say we are doing this question and it is like 0 to 10. To us, when we say tough, probably as an adult, we mean is at a level 6. But for children who find maths or struggle, it could probably mean 10 or 20. Yeah. And sometimes I feel that at times, because we are adults, we forgot we were once a child, and when it's difficult, it's really hard, and it may even paralyze us sometimes. And I have also talked to some parents before, and the parents told us that, actually, John, thanks for helping me to coach my kid. Do you know why I hated maths? It's because my school teacher in the past scolded me, put me down, and even said nasty things about me. That's why, as a parent, I hated math and I can't teach my kid. Yeah, so this is what some parents told me, and I can totally empathize with that. And can you imagine if, when I'm the trainer and I tell the parents, hey, this is small matter, it's okay, don't think about it. Somehow it doesn't do justice, because because it's actually what the parent is feeling, and somehow the right way, in my opinion, is to really sit there and listen to the parents, and then also to hear his or her story and really understand what the parents have gone through as a child sitting in the math class. So likewise, for a child, when they say that, Papa, Mama, math is really hard, I just can't seem to solve the questions, and I'm really very scared. So parents, do your child a favor. What I can suggest is sit down, really ask your child, so what actually makes you think that is tough? So when you were feeling anxious, what went through your mind? And can you tell Papa or Mama what is going through your head? And tell me more. Yeah, and sometimes even I commit the same mistake. I try to solve it. I try to protect my girl. I try to take away her problem, or trying to give her some solution. But having gone through many episodes with them, I realized that the best way forward is to do nothing, and to really to be there with them and letting them know that you really care. Letting them know that you really care, not just for the grades, but you really care for them. And you really care about their feelings, you really care about their experience, and you really care about the things that they tell them. Yeah. So, and the reason why I'm saying this, even though it's a short Facebook Live, is because I just want to get this out there that parents, as parents, we know that we are the best parents for our children. At times, we just want to help our children to get good grades, as well as so that they can choose a good school, as well as we are thinking that what we are doing is good for them. However, at times, sometimes we just need to stop and then pause and then ask our child if what we are doing is really useful for them. Yeah, and no one can tell you the right answer. Only your child can tell you whether you're doing it right or doing wrong. Yeah, and sometimes my children will tell me, Papa, actually what you're doing is not helpful. It's a big hit, like a knock on my head, like, oh, I thought what I'm doing is good for you, or what I'm doing is actually for your best interest. Can't you understand? Yeah. But whenever I caught myself saying that in my head, I will also ask myself, how can I improve? What can I do to improve this situation? What can I change? And as the saying goes, when the flower doesn't bloom in the garden, we do not change the flower, we change the environment. Yeah, so it's not easy. It's not easy, but I try to always remind myself, so what can I do to improve? Because I value my relationship with my daughters more than the grades. Yeah, so to end off this Facebook Live, because I'm going for my dinner now, the takeaway for you could be, whenever when you go back home today, probably just before you start off the maths revision time with your kid, and then making sure that it's a very safe environment. There's no one else, no other siblings running around. There's no another adult in the room. You can ask your child, so dear, just before we start off this, I really want to understand what you're going through, and I really mean it. Yeah. From 0 to 10, 10 is maths is very easy. Yeah. 0 is maths is very hard. So please tell me, or write down on the paper, or just show me with your fingers, what number will you give? If your child say 10, good for you. If your child say 0, 5, 4, then you can continue by saying, tell me more. Tell me what do you mean? What do you mean by that? Yeah, and sometimes you need to also be ready to receive that some feedback could be related to how you teach your child. Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, set the intention right, that after this discussion, you just want to improve and help your child to learn math in a happier way. Yeah, and also the intention is to help yourself as a parent to better support your child. Yeah, so whatever feedback that your child gives you, keep an open mind and see what else you can do about it. Yeah, and sometimes it's really hard to guess what they want. So the best way is to ask. So if you are in doubt, ask your child, so do you mean this? Do you mean that? Your child will probably tell you what's right, what's wrong, what is yes, what is no. Then you can also just check in with your child. So would it be better if mommy does this, or would it be better if mommy does that? Yeah. Versus, would it be better if you do this? Yeah. Okay. The difference is when you say mommy or daddy, what if mommy or daddy does this is you show that you want to change. But when you use the words like, why don't you do this or why don't you do that? Probably yes and no, but you need to be careful that sometimes when the responsibility is being pushed back to them, while we feel that they can change, but I think to start off, well, you may want to suggest ways that you can change as well. Yeah, and it may be small things like, oh, maybe we can reorganize the timetable, or maybe we can reschedule the learning to a time slot that you have more energy. Yeah, or maybe we can get you to do the work first, then you mark by yourself, and then I will just check. Would that be okay for you? If your child said yes, oh, and then there's a big step forward. Yeah, so I hope that these simple tips can help you to be a better supporter for your child. And again, parents, do remember that you are your child's best supporter, and you are in fact a good parent. And again, as a parent who teach my own kids, I'm also trying to improve myself. So let's all improve together, because at the end of the day, only your child will benefit, and the relationship with your child will only get better. Yeah, and I can imagine that the whole family and environment just gets better. Yeah. Okay, so to end off, I'll be doing a P6 Zoom webinar on this Friday at 7:30 p.m. So if you want to know more on how else I have helped my child to boost up her score, her confidence, as well as her exam resilience, and how I do the same thing for my students in my class, join me in the Zoom by going to the Zoom link in this Facebook post. Sign up at the Zoom link that is in the post description. All right, so I see you then, and have a great dinner. Bye-bye, take care.